If the Mosasaurus still ruled the oceans, we wouldn't be the apex predators anymore. The Mosasaurus was one of the most fearsome marine reptiles to have ever lived. It existed during the late Cretaceous period, around 82 to 66 million years ago. This massive predator could grow up to 50 feet in length, longer than a school bus, and weighed an estimated 15,000 kilograms. It had an elongated, powerful body, paddle-like limbs for steering, and a long, muscular tail that propelled it through the water with incredible speed. Its double-hinged jaw and backward curved teeth allowed it to catch and swallow prey whole. From giant fish to smaller marine reptiles and even seabirds, the Mosasaurus ruled the prehistoric oceans with unmatched dominance. It was not a dinosaur, but a marine lizard, closely related to modern-day monitor lizards and snakes. The reign of the Mosasaurus came to a sudden and dramatic end about 66 million years ago, during the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event. This global catastrophe was triggered by a massive asteroid impact near what is now the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. The impact unleashed widespread fires, tsunamis, and an impact winter, where sunlight was blocked by debris in the atmosphere. As temperatures dropped and food chains collapsed, nearly 75% of all life on Earth vanished, including the mighty Mosasaurus. With its prey gone and ocean conditions rapidly deteriorating, it could not survive the aftermath. The oceans, once teeming with giants, fell silent. But what if the Mosasaurus had defied extinction? Imagine an alternate timeline where this apex predator survived the cataclysm and continued evolving. Over millions of years, the Mosasaurus might have adapted to changing ocean temperatures and new forms of prey. It could have grown even larger, developed enhanced senses, and perhaps even evolved new behaviors to survive near human-populated coastlines. Its presence would have dramatically altered marine ecosystems, possibly preventing the rise of whales, dolphins, and other modern ocean giants. Humanity's relationship with the sea would be entirely different. We might have approached the ocean with far more caution, or never explored it so extensively in the first place. This surviving sea monster would not just be a relic of the past, it would be a living nightmare in our modern world. If the Mosasaurus had never gone extinct, it would have remained one of the top predators in the ocean, significantly altering the course of marine evolution. Its continued presence would have placed extreme pressure on marine life, potentially preventing the rise of other large predators like sharks, orca whales, and even giant squid. Many species would either have gone extinct, evolved defensive adaptations, or been forced into niche environments. The Mosasaurus would have disrupted the balance of the oceanic food chain by feeding on large fish, turtles, and other marine reptiles. This apex predator's dominance could have reduced biodiversity in some areas while shaping entirely new ecosystems in others. The ripple effects would stretch from the surface to the deepest parts of the ocean. The survival of such a terrifying sea creature would likely have changed how human beings interacted with the ocean throughout history. From ancient seafarers to modern-day marine biologists, fear of the Mosasaurus might have limited oceanic travel, delayed maritime exploration, and even altered migration routes for early civilizations. Stories of sea monsters would not just be myths, they would be rooted in real, observable danger. Underwater exploration, deep-sea diving, and even naval warfare would require entirely different technologies and strategies to account for the threat. We may have developed specialized sonar systems, reinforced submarines, or protective zones around coastlines just to keep humans safe. Our curiosity about the deep might have been replaced with caution or even terror. In a modern world where the Mosasaurus still swims beneath the waves, global fishing industries would face constant disruption. Large fishing vessels could become easy prey for a creature of such immense power. Entire schools of fish could vanish overnight due to its hunting patterns, creating food shortages and economic instability in coastal regions. Shipping lanes would need to be rerouted, with naval patrols protecting cargo ships from deep-sea ambushes. Coastal cities might build enormous barriers or sonar fences to keep the predator at bay, while fishing companies could face extinction due to damaged fleets and reduced catches. In this scenario, the economy of many nations, especially those dependent on the ocean, would be dramatically different, fragile, and in constant fear of one ancient survivor. If the Mosasaurus still prowled the oceans today, its existence would reshape how we approach life near the sea. Coastal cities would not be bustling tourist hubs with crowded beaches and surfing hotspots. Instead, they might resemble fortified zones. Urban development near the coastline would include massive barriers, reinforced underwater walls, and sonar-based warning systems. Structures like seaside resorts or piers might never have existed, replaced instead by observation towers or marine defense stations. In terms of warfare, navies would face an entirely new threat. Submarines, aircraft carriers, and battleships would need Mosasaurus deterrents, possibly even carrying specialized weapons designed to defend against such massive aquatic predators. Military strategies would not just account for human enemies, but also these unstoppable beasts of the deep. The threat would be omnipresent, altering the architecture, defense, and very mindset of societies that live near the ocean. The idea of coexisting with a living Mosasaurus opens the door to science fiction-level speculation. Would humanity try to study and protect it, like a modern-day conservation effort? Or would we see it as a threat that must be neutralized at all costs? In a world where the Mosasaurus still exists, governments and private corporations might compete to capture or contain one, perhaps for research, profit, or even entertainment. Picture giant enclosures in the middle of the ocean, like aquatic zoos or military testing grounds. On the other hand, fear might drive us to eradicate the species entirely. We could develop advanced underwater weaponry, robotic drones, or even train marine animals to hunt or avoid it. In either case, coexisting would not mean peaceful living. It would mean constant monitoring, adaptation, and high-tech solutions to manage one of nature's most terrifying survivors. The Mosasaurus would not just be part of the ecosystem, it would dominate it and force us to respond accordingly. If the Mosasaurus were still alive, our world would be a very different and dangerous place. Would you dare swim in those waters? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this dive into an alternate reality, hit like and subscribe for more.